Hi, you guys. Welcome back to another episode of Life with Z. In this week's episode, we're going to be recapping all the fun we had on the 4th of July weekend. It was a long weekend for us, and we got to see some family and friends and have quite a bit of fun along the way. So I'm excited to show you everything we got into. I made an impromptu trip back home to Michigan to visit friends and family. It was my dad's birthday, so I wanted to celebrate him and then sneak in some time to see some other friends as well. So as soon as we landed, picked up a rental car, and I was able to meet one of my friends before making my way back to my parents' house to celebrate my dad's birthday. Picked up some balloons and headed over to my sister's house for some chocolate cake and a pool party to celebrate. After a few days with my family, I made my way over to West Michigan to see one of my best friends, Kara, and we spent some time soaking up the sun on the lakeshore. West Michigan has the most beautiful beaches, and she is so lucky to live just a couple miles away from them. So we dream of our expensive, bougie beach snacks. We loaded up and had so much fun snacking and chatting and swimming in the beautiful warm water. After a fun day at the lake, we made our way downtown to grab a bite to eat and tried a new restaurant, Mezcla, where we had tacos and delicious chips and guacamole before making our way back to her house to catch up on Love Island. And the next day, we did a little shopping downtown before I made my way back to the airport to head home just in time for some 4th of July fireworks. This was our first time seeing the fireworks in Tennessee, and the show did not disappoint. We had front row seats to these ginormous, gorgeous fireworks, and this location had some food trucks set up, so we had snacks to go with the show, and we had a great time. To keep the holiday weekend festivities going, the next day I decided to treat myself and try a smoothie place that's been on my list. Alright, you guys, I just went to Ian Rose and I'm so excited. I picked up these smoothies to try. I've seen them all over social media. They have a few locations in Nashville, and this is their take on the Hailey Bieber smoothie. So I got it with a vegan collagen, and look how pretty it is. I'm so excited. So I'm going to give it a taste with you here now. That's really good and it's really pretty. And then for Greg, I picked something up that would be a little sweeter. So I got him this one that they call the Cowboy Cloud. Look at all that chocolate. It has banana, oat milk, and coconut cream. So wife Tex will give his a little taste as well. That's really good. Tastes kind of like a banana milkshake. Really good. Hopefully he likes that too. So I'm so excited. I got to try Ian Rose. They're absolutely delicious, and I know I'll be back. Later that day, we drove about an hour outside of town to go blueberry picking. This is one of my favorite summertime activities, and I've gone so many times in the past, but never in Tennessee. First time blueberry picking in Tennessee. So we were excited to explore our new home a bit and check out some of the blueberry farms around town. And it definitely took us a little while to get it figured out. This particular farm was a little less organized, and they let us just kind of find our own way, but we eventually got the hang of it and found some bushes with some pretty good blueberries, and we had a lot of fun picking our own harvest. All right, you guys, look at all these blueberries we ended up bringing home. We picked about 2.5 pounds that I have in this basket here, and then we decided to buy some pre-picked as well. So we have 7.5 pounds of blueberries here, and I typically like to eat them fresh just as a snack or as part of my breakfast. But since we have so many, I found a recipe on Pinterest for some protein blueberry muffins. So we're gonna make those together today. And then after we do some baking, we'll make a very patriotic dinner with some burgers, watermelon, corn on the cob, and some homemade French fries. So let's get started. All right, you guys, so first things first, we needed to make sure all of this fresh fruit was nice and clean, especially when you're picking your own. There can be little bugs or rotten blueberries that make their way into your bucket, so want to make sure that we get any of the debris out and that we're left with clean, fresh blueberries to enjoy. So first I went through the blueberries that we picked ourselves, which were mostly good, and then I had the chore of going through this pre-picked bucket, which I'm pretty sure they used some machinery or something to pick these berries because there were so many twigs and leaves and underripe or rotten berries in this basket that we purchased pre-picked. So I took quite a bit of time filtering through all the berries and making sure we were left with only the best ones. I would love to hear from you guys in the comments below. Do you do any summer fruit picking, and what are your favorite summer fruits? Blueberries are definitely on the top of my list, and my second favorite would probably be watermelon, but I typically just eat my fruit fresh. Like I mentioned before, today we'll be making some blueberry muffins, but I'm curious, do any of you make your own jams or preserves from the fruit that you pick? I'm kind of toying with the idea of making some blueberry jam, so stay tuned. We may have that in an upcoming video. But for now, we'll get out all of our ingredients to make these protein blueberry muffins. This recipe is really simple and fairly healthy considering there's no added sugar. The base is just flour and protein powder, and then you add, of course, baking soda, baking powder, Greek yogurt, honey for sweetness, a couple eggs, a little salt and vanilla, and then a cup of fresh blueberries. So we'll get all of our dry ingredients mixed together before we add our wet ingredients to a separate bowl. And if you're like me and struggle with opening jars, you gotta get yourself one of these handy tools to loosen this honey jar and get the honey in our bowl, as well as a couple eggs, and we'll get this all combined. I'll be sure to link this recipe in the description box below, but I gotta warn you guys, I was a little thrown off when the recipe called for adding the blueberries to your wet ingredients first. In every blueberry muffin recipe I've ever made, you fold in the blueberries at the end. So I read that instruction multiple times before finally trusting the process and going with it, and I'm so glad I did. As I combined all the ingredients together, you can see I think that protein powder really made the texture quite a bit thicker, and that would have prevented the blueberries from easily mixing in. So trust that recipe and mix in your blueberries with the wet ingredients first. Now that we've got everything all combined, we'll grease our muffin liners and get them all filled with batter so we can get these into the oven. Something's in the air. We'll bake the muffins at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 20 minutes, and they turned out absolutely beautiful. You'll see them here in just a minute, but love how beautifully golden brown they are. They probably could have done with just about 19 minutes instead of 20, but still the toothpick came out clean and the texture was just right. So happy with how our fresh blueberry muffins turned out. And to round out our fun 4th of July weekend, we had a very traditional Americana dinner with homemade burgers, french fries, and corn. That's all for this week's video. Thank you so much for spending the time with me. Please make sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed today's video and subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you next week for a brand new video. Bye!